In this video, we'll try to explain why every large tech company is thinking of buying TikTok. Now, don't try and hide it or deny it. We know you really don't have to hide it any longer. We know you're a TikTok star while your parents or significant other are sleeping. That's when your artistic vein emerges and you start dancing for millions of subscribers. The whole TikTok drama started when President Trump filed an executive order to ban TikTok from the United States of America by the 15th of September 2020. And yes, that's coming up very, very soon. His reasons relate mainly to the ability of China and the Chinese Communist Party to have access to and so collect the personal data of millions of Americans.
Just to give you an idea of scale, TikTok has 800 million active users worldwide, with 150 million users just in China. Although many of these users use the Chinese version of the app called Douyin. Many other Asian countries have very significant usage of the app. India, Cambodia, Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand and Vietnam, to name a few. The most interesting statistic is that over 40% of the users are young, between 16 and 24 years of age, which makes them particularly vulnerable in the eyes of government officials. Over 160 million people use TikTok in the United States of America, with 90% of those users that access the app on a daily basis. Many news outlets and people involved around this situation say that Facebook may have advocated heavily for the TikTok ban, and that it ended up managing to convince Donald Trump to announce the ban. If you're interested in more on this aspect, do let us know by commenting below. But for now, we'll move on to the core of our video without dwelling on Zuckerberg and Facebook. So, as you can imagine, we are on the eve of a ban, and once the ban hits, the value of TikTok will drop significantly, at least as it relates to the value of the business in the US. The solution to somewhat avoid this and allow the company to continue to operate would be for an American company to buy the US business from TikTok's parent company, ByteDance.
The secret of why everyone would want to buy TikTok is the massive user growth they've had. Their ability to increase usage among older people after having gotten a stronghold in the younger generations, in a way similar to what happened with Facebook many years ago, and the significant unconquered territory that is still available to the company, that's more used than LinkedIn, Twitter and Snapchat.
What would be the price of a potential deal? The number that's been floating around is $50 billion US, and we're not sure that includes the cut or fee that President Trump said he expects the US government to make if the deal goes through. A few names have emerged in the race. Let's discuss each of them briefly. Facebook. This would allow Facebook to buy their arch-enemy that they have allegedly lobbied heavily to shut down. Many people describe Facebook as the company that's unable to innovate and can only buy or copy. WhatsApp, Reels, Instagram. There are numerous examples. Google. For a company that has been built on data, which leads to an advertising powerhouse, it's clear that all that fresh data from young subscribers of TikTok would be very valuable. Also, owning TikTok may allow Google to combine that with YouTube and make things even more interesting. Amazon. For a customer-centric company like Amazon, there's always a place for a great platform like TikTok. Did you see what Amazon did with Whole Foods? This was a great success for Amazon because they just managed to sell crazy amounts of fresh organic products once they owned Whole Foods. Apple. TikTok would add to the Apple ecosystem and allow the company to continue to have access to the younger crowd that's very hard to maintain. Arguably, companies are broken by changes and shifts of younger generations. Now who wants an IBM computer, or whatever they call them today? And who wants a Motorola or Nokia phone? All these were super coveted items 20 or 30 years ago and now are hardly relevant. Microsoft. TikTok would allow the company to continue to try to penetrate the consumer market versus the business market that they're very strong on. Microsoft, like all the other companies mentioned here, has the money to do this deal, but we'd need to see if they will be able to integrate the company well. They didn't do a great job with LinkedIn, and does anyone use Bing? Oracle. This name's come up quite a bit because they have no relationship with the Chinese government, which some have claimed may be more of an issue for some of the companies we've just talked about, notably Microsoft. This deal may be interesting for an older Silicon Valley company that's lost a bit of its allure, but is still led by the guy they call the samurai warrior of Silicon Valley, and we know samurais compete till the very end. Other names that have come up are Snap or Twitter. It's too early to know if these matter at all.
However, you know us, we'll keep monitoring and bringing you more news on this. So please comment, like and subscribe. And do it now so you don't forget and miss out. In closing this video, we note that TikTok, together with its parent company ByteDance, has sued the US government to have the ban repealed, as they're fighting for survival, and if they fail, are likely to get scooped up by some large company for a price lower than what the company will be worth in a few years. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon.